My beloved child, pause for a moment amidst the noise of life, the tangled streams of thought, and the echoes of the world. Today, I want to tell you something that will astonish you, something that if you open your heart will stir the depths of your soul. My child, how many times have you sighed in silence believing that I have forgotten you? How many times have you felt your prayers dissolve into nothingness, as if your cries vanished into the void unheard? You thought I was silent, that my love for you had faded with time. But my beloved one, that is not the truth. I have never been far from you, not for a single breath, not for even the briefest moment in time. When you knelt in the darkness of the night, believing no one heard your quiet sobs, I was there. When your heart shattered over losses too deep for words, I was there. When you lifted tear-filled eyes to heaven and whispered, "Lord, where are you?" I was standing right beside you, arms open wide, waiting for you to fall into my embrace. There are moments when you cannot feel me, not because I have left, but because your eyes are fixed on the storm instead of the light. I never abandon you to the darkness. I only long for you to learn to sense my presence, even when every emotion within you seems to fade away. Remember, my child, faith is not a feeling. Faith is choosing to believe when you cannot see, to keep walking when you cannot hear my voice. Often I hide myself not to test you, but to help your faith mature, to teach you that the bond between us is not built on fleeting emotions, but on an eternal, unchanging love. Just as a father steps back so his child may learn to walk, so too do I step aside, not because I desire your fall, but because I want you to know you can stand firm through the strength I have placed within you. Do not fear my silence, beloved one, for within that very stillness, I am speaking in a language deeper than words, the language of presence. When the world confuses, you seek me not with many words, but with a quiet heart. For in that sacred quiet, you will hear my whisper, "I am still here." You think I am silent, but in truth, I am moving. You think I am not answering, but in truth, I am weaving your answer in the silence, an answer far greater than what you prayed for. If only you could see with the eyes of your soul, you would know that every tear you have shed has been counted, every prayer you have uttered has never fallen to the ground in vain. I have gathered them in golden bowls, like pearls of faith, and there will come a day when I will use those very tears to water the harvest of blessings prepared for you. You cannot measure how many times I have closed a door to shield you from what you could not yet see. You cannot count how many times I have made you pause, not to delay you, but to prepare you for something far greater. When you thought everything was falling apart, I was rebuilding the foundation. When you felt abandoned, I was surrounding you with grace. When you saw only pain, I saw growth. My child, the trials you face are not signs of my withdrawal, but proof of my work within you. For true love not only comforts, it refines. It does not merely soothe wounds, it transforms them into marks of victory. I know there are nights when you stare at the ceiling, searching for a sliver of peace and finding none. Mornings when you wake with a heaviness that makes the day feel impossible. But I tell you, do not be afraid. Each dawn that rises is evidence that I am still writing your story. If I have not stopped, then neither should you. For where you think the story ends is where my new work begins. My beloved child, I want you to know that my love for you does not depend on how well you perform, it depends on who I am. I am the faithful one. I do not love you because you are perfect, but because you are mine. Even when you wander, I seek you. Even when you doubt, I still believe in what I placed within you. Even when you fall, I call your name with the voice of mercy. My love never tires, never fades, never fails. It is steadfast as the mountains, gentle as the wind, and deep as the ocean. My beloved child, I am calling you to open your heart and receive this love. Stop blaming yourself for the mistakes of the past. Stop believing the lie that you have gone too far to return. No distance is beyond the reach of my grace. Even if you travel to the ends of the earth, my hand is long enough to take hold of you. Even if you fall into the deepest pit, my light is strong enough to shine there. I have made a promise and I have never forgotten it. I will never leave you nor forsake you. Therefore, my beloved one, lift up your head. Do not look into the darkness, but into the light that draws near. For I am not only the one who walks with you through the valley, but also the one who will lead you to the mountaintop. Let the past remain behind you, and allow me to write a new chapter with my own loving hands. When you surrender everything to me, you will witness miracles unfold not outwardly, but within your soul. For when a heart realizes it has never been abandoned, that moment becomes the beginning of true freedom. My beloved child, there have been times when you knelt in earnest prayer, pouring out your whole heart for something you believed you could not live without. You thought that if I truly loved you, I would grant it, that once you had it, everything would be right, every emptiness would be filled, and your soul would finally rest. Yet when the answer did not come, or when silence stretched endlessly, your heart ached and doubt crept in. You asked, Lord, where are you? Why do you not hear me? And sometimes that disappointment led you to believe I had turned away. But today, I want you to know a deeper truth. I never ignore your cries. Every word you speak, every tear that falls, touches my heart. Yet there are moments when I must remain silent, not because I am indifferent, but because I am protecting you from what you cannot yet comprehend. You see only a small fragment of your life's tapestry, while I see the entire masterpiece where past, present, and future weave together in perfect harmony. When you ask me to open a door, I do not look only at what lies immediately behind it, but also at the long road beyond, a road that may still hold thorns, storms, and things not yet ripe for your spirit. Some things you deem good are not yet ready to be blessings. Some relationships you long for would wound you if they arrived too soon. Some opportunities that seem golden hide weariness and loss within them, paths that could cause you to forget who you are. So when I say no, it is not a door closed forever, but a gentle hand shielding you from what is not yet in season. My child, trust that my silence is never absence. I am working even in the dark, arranging every detail, preparing the path, so that when the appointed time comes, you will not stumble. Many times you ask me for something, but instead of granting it at once, I lead you through a time of refining. You feel the pain, the slowness, the sense of being left behind, yet that is when I am strengthening your soul to carry what I am about to give. For true blessings do not come to those unready to bear them. A gift becomes a burden when the heart is not mature enough to receive it. And I love you enough to wait for your maturity. My beloved, you do not realize how many times I have held you back from paths that seemed bright, but were filled with hidden pitfalls. There were moments when you felt angry, thinking I had taken away something you loved, when in truth I had taken you back from the grip of what would have destroyed you. I have kept you from things that looked beautiful but were laced with poison. I have allowed your perfect plans to fall apart so that you would not lose yourself in illusion. For if you gained everything you desired but lost your soul, you would lose what is most precious. And I love you far too deeply to allow that to happen. I know there are times you grow weary of waiting. Each passing day you look around and see others blessed while you remain in the same place. You compare, you doubt, you think I have favored someone else. But my child, do not measure your journey by another's. Every soul has its own season, and the delay of yours does not mean it will never come. When your spring finally blossoms, you will understand why the winter had to linger. For in those cold, silent days, I was quietly growing your roots deep into the ground, so that when your flowers bloom, no storm will ever uproot them. My child, do not fear the no that comes from me. Every time I withhold something, I am not closing the door to blessing, but opening the path towards something far greater. You may not understand it now, but one day when you look back, you will weep tears of gratitude. You will say, if the Lord had given me what I asked for, then I would have lost myself. and you will see that every no I spoke was written with the ink of love. I never desire to hurt you, but at times I must allow a small pain to save you from a greater one. I do not wish to see you cry, yet sometimes tears are the very water that cleanse your eyes, so you may see truth more clearly. I do not wish for you to lose, but sometimes loss is the only way for you to discern what is truly worth keeping. Every no I speak is woven with mercy, every delay wrapped in my perfect plan. And one day when the veil is lifted, you will see that nothing I have done was ever apart from love. My beloved child, I long for you to understand that your prayers are never in vain. I hear every word, and I answer in the way I know is best. Sometimes I do not respond immediately, not because I am silent, but because I want your heart to cling more tightly to me than to the thing you ask for. I want you to learn to trust the giver, not merely the gift. When you grasp this truth, your soul will find freedom, for your joy will no longer depend on having or lacking, but on being with me. My precious one, I have seen the nights you lay awake, wondering if you are still worthy of my love. I have heard the weary sighs within you as you look back at your past, at the mistakes, the weakness, and the failures that still cast their shadow. You think I am disappointed that I have turned away, because you are not good enough, not strong enough, not holy enough to be loved by me. But my child, you misunderstand who I am. Who do you think I am? Do you believe my love has limits? Do you think my mercy is fragile, like a thread that breaks when you stumble? No, my beloved. My love is not like the love of this world. It does not waver with emotion. It does not depend on your success, and it is not revoked by your sin. I know you fully. I see every crack within your soul, even the wounds you try to hide behind your smile. Before you took your first breath, I saw the entire journey you would walk, the turns, the falls, the moments you would run away from me. I saw your betrayals, your doubts, your resistance, and still I chose you. I chose you not because you are perfect, but because my love is perfect. I love you not because you are deserving, but because I am love itself, unshakable, unquenchable, and unchanging. Do you remember a little child learning to walk? It falls many times, yet the Father never ceases to lift it up. With each fall, he does not withdraw his love, but smiles, wipes away the tears, and says, "Try again." So it is with me. I see every fall, but I never erase your name from my heart. I do not count your mistakes. I count the times you return. And each time you come back, I run toward you with open arms, never reminding you of the past, only longing to hold you close. For I do not look at you through the lens of sin, but through the light of grace. My child, I know there are moments when you feel you cannot pray ashamed, unworthy, unclean before me. Yet it is in those very moments that I draw closest to you. When you bow your head in guilt, I place my hand upon your shoulder and whisper, "Rise, you are still my child." You may see yourself as stained, but I see within you my own image, the image of the one made by love and for love. No sin can erase that image. You may wound my heart, but you can never make me stop loving you. I do not love you because of what you do right, nor do I stop loving when you fail. My love is not built on if or because. It simply is. I love you. Whether you stand on the mountain of triumph or the valley of shame, whether you sing in praise or cry out in despair, my love remains the same, neither greater nor lesser. You cannot make me love you more by doing good, nor can you make me love you less by your mistakes. My love is unconditional, for love is not something I possess, it is who I am. My child, stop measuring yourself by the standards of this world. The world teaches that a person's worth depends on achievement, but in my kingdom, your worth is determined by the one who created you. You are precious not because you are flawless, but because you belong to me. When you doubt yourself, remember that I do not doubt you. When you feel weak, remember that I have placed within you a strength that surpasses fear. When you think you have strayed too far, remember that I am the way that leads you home. My beloved, I am never surprised by your failures. There is no sin that makes me exclaim, I never thought you could do that, for I knew it all along. I knew you would stumble. I knew you would make mistakes. Yet I still chose to love you, still chose the cross for you. My love does not waver because of your sin. It deepens because of it. For if you had never fallen, you would never understand the depth of grace. If you had never been lost, you would never know the joy of being found. Do not let sin drive you away from me. Let it drive you to me. For only in my embrace will you find true healing. You do not need to fix yourself before returning. I do not wait for you to change before I love you. It is my love that changes you. Come to me as you are with trembling hands and a wounded heart, and I will do the rest. I will cleanse you, lift you up, clothe you in the robe of righteousness, and call you by the name I gave you before the beginning of time. My beloved child, my love, is stronger than all condemnation. Even if the world turns its back on you, even if others refuse to forgive, I will still hold you close. Nothing can separate you from my love, not sin, not the past, not fear, not failure. Lift up your head, my child, for I do not see a sinner. I see a soul being redeemed, transformed each day by the light of my presence. And when you truly grasp this truth, fear will lose its hold. You will no longer live under the weight of guilt, but in the freedom of gratitude. You will no longer strive to be worthy of my love, but simply live in response to it. Every breath, every step, every decision will become an act of thanksgiving because you know you are loved eternally, unconditionally, unchangeably. Therefore, my child, release the burden of self-condemnation. Stop saying you have disappointed me, for I do not love you because you never fell. I love you because you chose to rise again. In your weakness, my power is made perfect. In your wounds, my light shines the brightest. And in the places you see as ruins, I am writing a magnificent story of restoration, a story of a love that never gives up. My beloved child, I know you have gone too far and tried too hard to appear strong while your heart was breaking. I have seen you smile through storms, holding back sighs to seem fine while your soul was weary. You have carried burdens that were never yours to bear, worries, responsibilities, fears, the urge to please everyone. You thought strength meant never showing weakness, never stopping believing that constant motion meant life itself. But my child, true strength is not found in striving. It is found in knowing when to rest in me. I did not create you to run endlessly in the cycle of exhaustion and anxiety. I did not design you to live in fear that everything would collapse if you stopped. My child, it is in resting in me that you truly live. It is when you release your burdens that I can embrace you. It is when you let go of control that I can act on your behalf. For I never called you to carry everything. I only invited you to walk with me, not ahead, not behind, but in step with me. Do you remember my promise? Come to me, all who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. Matthew 1:1-8. I did not say, come to me when you are strong, but come when you are weary. Not to prove yourself, but to be healed. You do not need to be brave before me, for I know every breath and every crack in your soul. I do not need your performance. I desire your honesty. Simply whisper, I am tired, Lord, and I will answer, rest, my child. I do not find glory in your exhaustion, but in your surrender. The world teaches that rest is weakness, but in my kingdom, rest is an act of faith. Only those who trust in my love dare to stop. Only those who know I am in control dare to let go. When you cease striving, you declare to the world, I have a Father great enough to carry my burdens. That is true strength, not yours, but mine in you. My child, you once tried to hold everything together, striving to please everyone, to fix what was broken, to keep every piece within your grasp, and in doing so, you were crushed beneath the weight of it all. But my beloved, you were never meant to be the savior of the world. There is only one Redeemer, and that is I. Let me do what is mine to do, and you remain in my peace. Remember, you were not created to control every outcome, but to walk in divine guidance. You were not called to carry the entire burden, but to journey with me. Every time you try to do my work in your own strength, you drive yourself toward exhaustion. But when you allow me to do what only I can, you will find yourself light as a feather in the open sky. My child, I have seen you trade your sleep for endless nights of worry. You count your anxieties instead of the stars. You whisper again and again, "What if?" But I tell you this, leave the if to me. You only need to live fully today, for tomorrow is already held in my hands. Peace does not come when you gain control, but when you surrender it. Peace does not come from knowing all the answers, but from trusting that I know them all. Remember, my yoke is easy because I never ask you to carry it alone. My burden is light because I bear the heavier part. When you walk with me, every step moves in rhythm. With love, every breath is wrapped in grace. You will no longer feel alone on the long road ahead. I do not promise there will be no storms, but I promise that in the midst of them you will not be swept away. I do not promise you will never cry, but I promise that I will wipe away every tear. My child, learn to pause, not because you are weak, but because you are wise. Learn to be still, and listen to my whisper within your heart. Rest, for I am still at work. Learn to believe that even when you do nothing, I am still moving. When you sleep, I am watching. When you are weak, I am strong. When you lose your way, I still know the path. You do not need to understand everything to trust. You only need to trust to find peace. I have seen your silent tears falling from the thought that you were not enough, that you failed, that you made things worse. But you forget, my child, that I never called you to do it all, only to walk beside me. Every time you stop running and let me lead, you will realize that life is not meant to be an endless battle. It can be a journey of peace if you let me hold your hand. My beloved, do not think that rest is wasted time. When you rest in me, you are not standing still, you are being renewed. Just as a kite needs the wind to soar, you need my spirit to rise again. If you try to fly by your own strength, you will tire and fall. But when you let me lift you, you will go farther than you ever dreamed. Come to me, my child. Lay down the burden that bends your shoulders low. Let me carry it for you. Sit beside the still waters of my presence, and allow me to restore your soul. Let your tears fall freely, for I am turning them into a stream of healing. Let your breath align with mine, your heart beat in rhythm with my heart. You no longer need to prove anything. You no longer need to appear strong before me. You need only to be weak, weary, but true. And it is in that very weakness that I will perform wonders, for my power is made perfect in weakness. When you let go, I will lift you up. When you release your grip, I will complete the work. And when you rest in me, you will discover that there is no place more peaceful than within my heart, my beloved child. I have seen you running, hurried, weary, and relentless, as if by moving faster, you might finally find peace. You have chased after many voices, the call of ambition, the opinions of others, the whisper of fear, and the restless echo of your own heart. You have believed that if you listened enough, pleased enough people, or tried hard enough, you would discover your life's meaning. But my dear one, aren't you tired? The more you run, the more lost you become. The more you listen, the more confused you feel. Amid the clamor of the world, you have forgotten my gentle voice, the one that once guided you, comforted you in the dark nights. Now I call to you, be still, be silent, be still, and know that I am God. The world shouts endlessly, urging you to do more, achieve more, prove more, but I do not need you to perform in order to earn my love. I only need your presence. Be still, my child, for only in stillness can you hear my whisper within your heart. My voice does not come through the raging wind or the crashing thunder, but as softly as a breath, as tenderly as a cool breeze touching your soul. I speak in peace, not in chaos. When you keep listening to the noise of the world, my voice grows faint, not because I am silent, but because your heart has no room to hear. Open your heart and let your worries, fears, and expectations fade away. Only when your heart is empty can I fill it completely. My child, I know that being still in a world that never stops is hard. You fear that if you pause, you will fall behind. But I tell you, stopping is not losing, it is gaining. When you stop to be with me, you do not waste time. You are being restored. Just as a lake can only reflect the sky when its waters are calm, your soul can only reflect me when it is at rest. In that stillness, I will teach you to discern truth from illusion. I will show you how to recognize my voice among the countless others. My beloved, I do not want to be the one you turn to only in desperation. I am not a shelter you visit when you are exhausted, only to be forgotten once life feels steady again. I long to be your daily companion, to be the breath in your morning, the peace in your night, the joy in your smallest moments. You were not created merely to pray in distress, but to live in constant communion with me. I do not only wish to save you, I desire to live with you. I do not only want to hear your cries for help, I want to hear your laughter and gratitude in the simple rhythm of life. My child, intimacy with me is not a duty, it is a gift. When you sit in my presence, you need not search for perfect words or polished prayers. You only need to be real. You only need to be present. Let your soul rest like a child at the feet of their Father, unconcerned, uncalculated, simply being. I am not seeking eloquent speech. I seek sincere hearts. I am not asking for rituals. I desire a living connection where you know I am listening and you learn to listen in return. There are moments when you say, I cannot hear you, Lord, but my child, I am still speaking. My voice has not vanished. You are simply surrounded by too many others. You listen to the news, to the world's opinions, to the harsh critic inside your mind, and all these drown me out. Choose a moment of quiet each day, a sacred pause where you put down your phone, look away from the noise, and turn your eyes toward me. Step away from the world's storm into the quiet sanctuary of your soul where I have always been waiting. In that moment, you will realize that I was never far away. You just hadn't stopped long enough to notice my nearness. My beloved, I do not only want you to hear my voice, I want you to live by it. For when you truly listen, you will be guided. My direction does not come through haste, but through stillness. In silence, I will speak of things the world cannot teach. I will show you what I see, the safe paths, the people you must forgive, the choices that must wait, and the miracles already forming in secret. You will no longer need to guess or wander, for I will lead you. Do not fear the solitude of silence, for that is where I dwell. Many flee from quietness because they fear facing themselves, but when you face yourself in me, you will not find shame, you will find healing. In stillness, I will peel away your fears and the walls you have built for protection. I will remind you of your true worth, not found in what you do, but in who you are. When you learn to be still before me, you will see that the things you once thought were urgent gradually lose their weight. You will realize there is no need to rush, for I hold time in my hands. You will see that you do not need to argue to be understood, for I understand you completely. You do not need to prove your worth, for I declared you precious before the beginning of time. Silence does not make you weak. It makes you steadfast, because when you hear my voice, you will no longer be swayed by the noise of the world. My child, I am calling you to return not to religion, but to relationship. Sit beside me. Tell me everything, or simply sit in silence and let me speak to you in the language of peace. I do not promise that the wind will cease to blow, but I promise that in me you will stand firm amidst the wind. I do not promise that the world will grow quiet, but I promise that within you there will be a place of peace, a sanctuary where only you and I dwell. My beloved, do you remember the first dreams I placed within your heart? Those dreams once set your spirit ablaze. Your eyes sparkled when you spoke of the future, and you believed that something great awaited you ahead. Yet as the years passed, the winds of doubt and the words of others blew out that flame. You tucked those dreams away in a hidden corner of your soul and called it maturity, called it reality. You told yourself, that time is gone. Those dreams were only fantasies. But my child, I have never forgotten. The dream did not die, it merely sleeps within you, waiting for me to awaken it at the appointed time. It was I who planted that seed of vision in your heart from the very beginning. It was not the fruit of imagination nor a coincidence that came and went. It was part of the design I created for you. When I breathed the breath of life into you, I also breathed into you divine dreams, visions that transcend human ability, so that when they come to pass, no one may claim the glory but me. I placed those dreams within you, not to torment you with unfulfilled longing, but to lead you through a journey of trust. My child, I know there are dreams you once held tightly, dreams that were mocked, crushed, or broken by circumstance. You may think that if I truly wanted them to come to pass, it should have been easier. You believed that when a door closed, it meant I had said no. But my dear one, I have not forgotten my promise. Sometimes I close the door not because the dream is wrong, but because you are not yet ready to walk through it. Just as a potter molds the clay before shaping it, I use time and trials to mold you, so that when the dream comes, you will be strong and humble enough to carry it without being swept away by pride or fear. Do you know why I do not allow your dream to come true right away? Because sometimes that very dream could harm you if it arrives too soon. A child who has not yet learned to walk cannot wear a crown without stumbling. A seed that has not yet rooted deep cannot withstand the winds of success. So, I wait. Wait until your soul matures, until your heart places its trust fully in me rather than in the dream itself. For I do not only desire to give you what you long for, I desire to give you a heart wide enough to hold it. My beloved, I am the author of your story, and I never abandon a book halfway through. Every chapter, whether filled with tears or laughter, has its purpose. When I begin a work, I will bring it to completion, not according to your schedule, but according to my perfect time. You may see your life as fragments of chaos, as pieces that do not seem to fit, but I am weaving them together into a tapestry of glory. You may not understand today, but there will come a day when you will look back and say, "Now I see, Lord, you always had a plan." Do not think that because your dream is too great, it was never meant for you. It is precisely because it is great that I placed it within you to remind you that it cannot be fulfilled without me. If you could achieve it by your own strength, it would only be ambition, not calling. But a dream from me always surpasses human ability, so that you may learn to walk by faith and not by calculation. I will make a way where there seems to be none. I will carve a path through the sea. I will turn the impossible into the inevitable as long as you do not give up. You may believe that the dream has died, but, my child, I am the one who brings the dead to life. I can breathe life into what you thought was buried forever. I can turn the tears of regret into streams of hope. When you place that dream back into my hands, I will transform it from a personal ambition into a sacred mission. A dream purified by faith will no longer be yours but mine within you. And when that happens, it will not only fulfill you, it will bring light to many. My child, believe that what I have begun in you will not remain unfinished. I do not compose a melody only to stop in the middle of the song. I do not paint a picture only to abandon it halfway through the canvas. Everything I do moves toward completion. Yet I need your cooperation through faith, through patience, through the courage to keep walking even when you cannot see the destination, Every day you remain faithful, you are moving closer to what I have promised. Each time you refuse to give up, you are laying another stone in the dream I have been building. My beloved, do not fear if you find yourself straying from the path you once mapped out. I am not confined by your plans. At times, the road I lead you on may circle through unfamiliar lands, not to make you lose your way, but to teach you what you will need for the journey ahead. The experiences that seem meaningless today will one day become precious provisions. When I complete what I have started, you will see that no step was wasted, everything had its purpose. And my child, remember this, the dream I give is never meant for you alone. It always carries a greater purpose to reveal my glory and to touch the hearts of others. When you live true to that dream, you do more than fulfill your own destiny. You help open doors for others to step into the light. So, my child, rekindle the flame that once faded. Clear away the ashes of fear and disappointment. Believe that I am still writing your story with strokes you have yet to imagine. What I am doing now in the darkness will shine brightly in the light of tomorrow. And when you look back, you will understand that what seemed delayed was not forgotten. I was preparing something far beyond what you ever dared to dream. My beloved child, I know your heart longs to have everything certain, to understand each step before you take it. You want to know the destination before you depart, to see the full light before leaving the safety of what is familiar. You want explanations for every turn, to understand why I remain silent, why what you prayed for has not yet come. You think that if you had the map, your heart would rest easier. But faith is not born in the light. It is forged in the moments when you have nothing left but my promise. It is in the unseen that you truly learn to trust. Faith is not about understanding. It is about walking forward even when you do not. It is not about holding on to every answer. It is about letting me hold you. You say you believe in me, but I want to know, will you still believe when the light fades, when the door stays closed, when your dreams seem delayed? Will you still trust when my plans differ from your expectations? Will you still walk when you cannot see the way? True faith is not proven on the mountaintop through praise, but in the silent valley where you have nothing to cling to but me. My child, you crave control because you are afraid of loss, afraid of mistakes, afraid that if you are not steering, your life will go astray. But remember, I have never needed your control for my plan to be fulfilled. If the entire universe still turns at my command, then your small life is never outside my hands. You may not understand everything, but you can trust that I do. And when you believe that you will be free from worry, free from burdens, free from the need to always know. My dear one, blessed are those who believe without seeing. You often want me to prove before you trust, but I tell you that faith is the courage to walk without evidence. For if you saw everything, it would no longer be faith. If you understood everything, you would have no need to trust. True faith begins where reason ends. It is the bridge between what you cannot know and the one you can trust. It does not promise that the journey will be easy, but it guarantees that you will never walk alone. My beloved child, do not be afraid when the map in your hand disappears. For when the map is gone, I become your compass. When you no longer see the path clearly, that is when you begin to learn how to walk by the sound of my voice. I do not show you the entire road ahead, because if you could see it all, you would no longer need me. I lead you step by step, because I desire that you stay close to me each day. Sometimes you will see only enough light for a single step, and that is enough, for I will already be waiting at the next one. My precious one, I have never failed, and I will not fail in your life. You may think I am slow, but I am never late. You may think I am silent, but I have never stopped working. Even now I am weaving goodness out of threads you cannot yet understand. Every tangled line of your life, your failures, your tears, your wounds, I am intertwining into a tapestry far more beautiful than you can imagine. You see only fragments, but I see the whole masterpiece. My child, faith is not the easiest path, but it is the only one that leads to true freedom. When you release your grip on the steering wheel of your life, you will discover that I never let the vehicle drift away. You do not need to understand everything to find peace. You only need to know that I am faithful. When you cannot see the way, remember I am the way. When you do not understand, remember I am the truth. When fear grips your heart, remember I am the life, and whoever holds fast to me will never be lost. You often say, Lord, please show me what lies ahead, but if I revealed everything, you would no longer need me. You would live by calculation, not by faith. That is why I conceal part of the future to keep your heart dependent on me. You do not need to see far, you only need to see that I am near. You do not need to know everything, you only need to know that I am holding your hand. Faith does not remove uncertainty, it transforms uncertainty into the very place where I reveal myself. Look back, my child, at the times you thought you would collapse, but I lifted you up. The moments you believed I was silent, but later realized I had been clearing a path. Do you see it now? I have never failed. Not a single promise of mine has ever fallen to the ground without bearing fruit. If I fulfilled my word to Abraham, to Moses, to David, would I then forget you, the one I have called by name? You only need to believe, for I am the one who does not change. My beloved one, let faith become your lamp in the night. Do not search everywhere for light, for the true light is already within you. It is your trust in me. When storms rise, close your eyes and hold tightly to my hand. You do not need to see the shore. You only need to know that you are in the boat with me. There will be waves, there will be winds, but you will not sink, for I am the Lord of the seas. Learn to trust me, even when you do not understand, for it is in that very not understanding that faith matures. When you understand, you walk by reason, but when you do not understand and still believe, you walk by the Spirit, and that is where miracles are born. Each time you choose faith over fear, you open the door for grace to enter. Each time you choose surrender over control, you make room for me to move. Each time you whisper, Lord, I don't understand, but I trust. You, heaven smiles, for you have learned the language of faith. Do not forget, my beloved, I am the one who knows your beginning and your end. I wrote your story before you were ever born, and every page rests safely in my hands. So do not fear when you do not understand this chapter, for the author has never laid down his pen. What you must do is remain still in my hands. Trust that in the end this story will be more beautiful than you could ever imagine. For I am the one who writes every perfect ending. Let me teach you how to live by faith. Do not seek certainty in circumstances, but seek it in me. Do not place your hope in what you can control, but in the one who holds the universe. When you learn to trust me amid the unknown, you will experience a peace the world cannot give. True peace does not come when you have all the answers. It comes when you know that I am the answer to all things. Therefore, my child, do not be afraid to walk, even when you cannot see the road ahead. Place your hand in mine, and let me lead you step by step. Every step of faith is a love confession that you trust me more than your circumstances, my word more than your feelings, and my love more than your fear. And as you walk in that trust, you will see I have never failed, and I will never fail in you. My beloved child, do you know that within you flows the royal blood of the kingdom? You are not small, weak, or defined by the failures of this world. You are a child of the Creator, an heir to every promise of heaven. You were not born to crawl in fear, but to walk in authority and light. You are not merely someone living on earth, but a citizen of the kingdom of heaven, a realm overflowing with glory, peace, and power. You have been called out of darkness to become the light of the world. The world may forget your worth, but I never will. I have sealed you with my Spirit, and no force of darkness can erase that mark. My child, within you lies the power of words anointed by faith. When you speak in my name, mountains will move. When you pray with true belief, the seas will part. When you stand firm in righteousness, the darkness will tremble and flee. You do not recognize this yet because you have become accustomed to looking at your own limitations. But remember, the power does not come from you, it comes from the one who dwells within you. I have placed in you the Spirit of life, the same Spirit that raised Christ from the dead. That very Spirit lives in you today, the source of a strength beyond your imagination. Therefore, do not live as one defeated, nor bow like a slave to fear. Stand tall. My child, with the posture of an heir for my kingdom lives within you. For too long you have believed the voices of the world that you are not enough, that you have no worth, that you can never make a difference. But I tell you this, you bear my image. You were not created to blend into the darkness, but to illuminate it. Every time you believe a lie, you give it power. But every time you believe my word, you activate the heavenly strength within your being. Remember, faith is not just an emotion, it is a creative force. Faith turns the impossible into possible. Faith opens the gates of heaven upon the earth. And I have given you that gift not to keep buried within, but to act, to speak, and to transform the atmosphere around you. My child, do not live beneath your calling. You were not born merely to exist, but to reign with me. I have not given you a spirit of fear, but of power, love, and a sound mind. Do not let anxiety rule you. Do not let bitterness corrode your soul. Remember, every time you forgive, you break the chains of the enemy. Every time you choose love over hate, the darkness recedes. Forgiveness does not mean agreeing with what was wrong, it means refusing to let the wrong imprison you. Bitterness is an invisible chain that binds the soul, but forgiveness is the key that opens the door to freedom. I know forgiveness is not easy. I see your tears when you try to release what wounded you. I know you have been betrayed, misunderstood, and hurt with wounds that seemed beyond healing. But my child, when you cling to resentment, you do not bind others, you bind yourself. You carry a burden I never intended for you to bear. Let me carry it. Give me your pain, and I will turn it into strength. Let me deal with those who have wronged you, for vengeance is mine, justice is mine, and healing is yours. When you forgive, you are not saying what they did was right. You are declaring that I am great enough to handle it on your behalf. My dear one, I do not want to see you imprisoned by the past. I do not want you to replay the same story in your mind until the wound bleeds again. Open your hands, for when you cling to pain, you cannot receive healing. Forgiveness is a decision, not a feeling. You may not feel ready, but if you choose to let go, I will do the rest. I will mend your soul piece by piece, breathing new life into the places that have grown dry. One day you will look back and say, in the very place I was broken, He caused something new to grow. Beloved child, when you forgive, you are learning to be like me. You are living according to the divine nature that I have sown within your soul. Forgiveness is the language of heaven, the breath of those who are truly free. When you say, I forgive, not only does heaven bear witness, but even the darkness trembles. For forgiveness is an act of power. It breaks the chains of hatred and opens the floodgates of grace. When you forgive, you lose nothing. You only regain what was once lost: peace, joy, and freedom within your heart. My child, do not seek justice with your own hands. When you try to take revenge, you step into a battle that is not yours to fight. Let me fight for you. Trust that I see, I know, and I will not overlook a single thing. My justice is not like human justice. You see only the present, but I see the end from the beginning. There are things you cannot yet understand, but in due time you will see that everything I do has purpose. When you surrender judgment to me, you give yourself permission to rest in peace. My beloved child, live as one who has been set free. Walk lightly, carrying no baggage of resentment or self-condemnation. You have been forgiven, and therefore you can also forgive. I shed my blood not only to cleanse your sins, but to lift the weight of guilt from your shoulders. Do not live as though you are in debt when the debt has already been paid. Do not bow your head like one condemned when the sentence has been erased. Lift your head high, redeemed one, and walk as a prince or princess in my kingdom. My child, remember this truth: every step you take in love is a victory for heaven. Each time you choose light over darkness, you expand the borders of my kingdom on this earth. When you walk in forgiveness and love, you bring heaven down among humankind. For heaven is not only a place you will one day reach, it is something you carry within you as you walk in me. My dear one, remember you have power, you have love, you have a sound mind. Everything you need to overcome in this life has already been placed within you. Live as one on a mission, not as one running away. Speak words of life, sow seeds of grace, and let my light shine through you. Do not allow what others do to limit what I desire to do through you. Forgive, release, and move forward. The past does not define you, I do. My beloved, lay down the burdens within your heart and give them all to me, the things you cannot fix, the wounds you cannot heal, the losses you cannot understand. Do not cling to what makes you heavy. Place it into my hands, for only my hands can turn what is broken into something beautiful. I do not merely mend, I restore. I do not simply patch, I make new. You will be amazed at how I turn ashes into beauty, tears into fountains of grace. Everything you thought was lost, peace, joy, hope, I can breathe life into again, for I am the one who raises the dead and turns what is past into seed for the future. My child, I know there are times when you feel you must carry everything yourself, fight every battle, and stand alone in storms without a name. But I tell you now, release it. Let me do what I do best, turn sorrow into miracles. When you give me the fragments, I will create a masterpiece greater than you imagined. I will not let your pain be wasted. Every tear you have shed is remembered by me. Every sigh you release touches my heart. Believe that nothing in your life is beyond my care. When you surrender, I will act. When you stop striving, my power will be revealed. And my child, when I pour my grace into you, I call you to pour it out upon others. Love not because they deserve it, but because you have been loved. Let my love flow through you like an unending stream. I do not ask you to love by your own strength, for human strength runs dry. I ask you to love with mine, a love that never tires, never demands, never keeps score. The world loves when it is loved in return, but you, my chosen one, love even when rejected. For when you do, you reflect me, the one who loved humanity, even as they turned away. I know there are those who have wounded you deeply, those you feel you can never love again. But remember, my child, I loved you when you were far from me. My love drew you back, and now I long for that same love to flow through you, drawing others toward the light. Each time you choose to love, you triumph over darkness. Each time you choose to forgive, you defeat the enemy within your own heart. Love not because others are worthy, but because you have received a love beyond all measure. My beloved, this world is thirsty for light, yet it does not know where to find it. It searches in wealth, fame, and position, but the more it seeks, the emptier it becomes. My child, I have placed that light within you, a light that cannot be extinguished by darkness. Let it shine not through grand speeches, but through humility, through kindness in action, through faith in adversity. Be light where others judge, be warmth where others turn cold, be comfort where others despair. You need not preach with eloquence. Simply live truly in me, and my light within you will shine on its own. My child, do not forget that you were created to be the answer for this world. When you stand firm in faith, you become a light for others to see. When you choose love amid hatred, you break the chains of darkness. When you speak hope in desolation, you sow seeds of life into human hearts. The world does not need more noise, it needs witnesses. Let your life be living proof that God is still alive, still working, still loving. My child, I have not called you to greatness in the eyes of the world. I have called you to be faithful in the little things. When you reach out to help someone, it is my hand reaching through you. When you speak a word of encouragement, it is my voice echoing through your lips. When you embrace another in love, it is my arms holding them close. You are my messenger, not clothed in splendid robes, but marked by a heart that bears the imprint of love. Every act of love, no matter how small, carries eternal weight. Your hands, my beloved, are the very hands through which I reach into this world. Let them be instruments that lift up, not harm. Do not close your heart to the pain of others, for when you open your heart, I, myself, am at work through you. Let your words carry the sound of grace. Let your voice become an instrument of peace for those who listen. A gentle word can rescue a soul in despair. A loving word can soften a heart hardened by bitterness. Speak as though I were speaking through you, with kindness, with hope, and with truth. My child, your heart is where I long to dwell. I do not seek a temple of stone, for I have chosen to dwell within your very soul. I yearn to inhabit every corner of your heart, not only the beautiful parts, but also the broken ones, the places you hide in shame. Open your heart wide and do not fear. I have not come to judge, but to transform. I desire to cleanse, renew, and ignite your heart, so that it becomes my dwelling place, a living sanctuary from which my love will flow without end. My beloved child, live each day as a reflection of me to the world. Let others look at you and see hope. Let them hear your voice and sense the breath of life. Let them touch your life and feel my compassion. You do not need to be perfect to reflect me. You only need to be willing. Just as the moon has no light of its own but reflects the sun, so you shine not because you are sufficient, but because my light within you is great. My beloved one, come close and listen carefully, for what I am about to tell you is not to plant fear, but to awaken your soul. There is a day appointed, a day unknown even to the angels of heaven, a day inscribed in the fabric of time before the first light ever touched the earth. It is the day when the calendar of humankind will cease, the clocks will stop, and the proud monuments of man will fall into silence. That day cannot be predicted by anyone, measured by no scholar, delayed by no empire. It will come as softly as a breath, yet as fiercely as thunder, like a thief in the night, without warning, without negotiation, without delay. That day, my child, is the day of the Lord, the day when the earth will tremble, and the heavens will roll up like a scroll that has been read to the end. The stars will fall from the sky like silent ashes, and the lights of the world will fade, leaving only the eternal radiance that shines from my throne. The seas will roar, the mountains will melt, and everything man has called unshakable will vanish like smoke before the wind. For that day does not belong to this world, it belongs to me, the beginning and the end of all things. My child, many on earth live without thought of that day. They busy themselves building their own kingdoms, hoarding gold and silver, chasing fame and fighting for power, unaware that all of it is but a fleeting breath. I have spoken, heaven and earth will pass away, but my words will never pass away. Do you see, my child? All the glory of this world is like the flowers of the field, blooming in the morning and withering by night. But your soul endures forever, and it is that very soul, my beloved, that will one day stand before my throne of judgment at the end of time. That day, no one will be able to hide. No wall will be thick enough to conceal, no justification sufficient to cover. My eyes will pierce through every disguise, seeing into every thought and every secret intention within the human heart. It will not be merely actions that are weighed, but also the motives behind them. Every plan once conceived, every silent thought will be brought to light. I will not judge according to outward words, but according to the motives of the heart. In that moment there will be no room for deception, no space for self-defense. Every soul will give account for itself, not relying on the merits of ancestors, not on status or wealth. Only one question will remain. What have you done with the grace I have given you, my beloved child? I say these things not to frighten you, but to awaken you. For I do not desire that any soul should perish, but that all should come to repentance and return to me. On that day, for the faithful, it will be a day of glory, the hour when they are welcomed into everlasting light. But for those who have rejected me, it will be a day of darkness and sorrow. I have told you in my word, 2 will be in the field, 1 will be taken, and the other left. Do you understand the meaning of this? It is not about chance, but about choice. I have given every person the freedom to choose between light and darkness, between life and death, between me and the world. My child, I do not want you to live in fear of the day of judgment, but in the readiness of one who is awake. Live each day as if it were your last on earth, not to rush, but to live fully, to love more deeply, to forgive more quickly, and to trust more completely. When you live with the awareness that every breath is numbered, you will cease wasting time on what is trivial. You will stop arguing, stop blaming, stop clinging to what you cannot take with you. Instead, you will fix your eyes on what is eternal, the soul, love, and truth. My child, let my words remind you that I am not only the judge, but also the Redeemer. Before the judgment throne was set, the cross was raised on the hill of Golgotha. Before I judged, I forgave. Do you see it? Even in the eternal design, love preceded justice. If you come to me today, you need not fear the final day. For I have paid the price for your sins with my own blood, so that when you stand before my throne, you will no longer wear the garments of guilt, but the white robe of grace. Yet, my child, be vigilant. Do not let your heart fall asleep in the illusion of safety. Many say, that day is still far away, and they continue to live carelessly. But I tell you the truth, no one knows the hour, not even the angels, but only the Father in heaven. Do not wait until the door is shut to search for oil for your lamp. Guard your soul daily, so that when the trumpet sounds, you will not be startled, but will smile, knowing that the one you have awaited has come. My beloved, live as one who carries the heart of heaven in this temporary world. Choose righteousness when the world chooses ease. Speak truth when others remain silent. Love when hearts have grown cold. Every act you do today, no matter how small, echoes in eternity. A kind word, a loving deed, a sincere act of forgiveness, all are remembered before me. I do not ask you for perfection, only for faithfulness, not in grand gestures, but in humble hearts. That day will come, my child, but for those who belong to me, it will not be an ending, it will be a beginning. It will be the day when every tear is wiped away, every pain ceases, every loss is restored. On that day I will call each one by name, and those who have been faithful will hear my voice say, "Well done, good and faithful servant, enter into the joy of your Lord." I will wipe the tears from your eyes, place a crown upon your head, and say, "You have fought the good fight, you have kept the faith, and now your reward awaits." My beloved child, do not tremble when you hear of that day, for I do not want you to prepare in fear, but in love. When you truly love me, you will long for that day, not dread it. That day will not be one of judgment for you, but of reunion the day you come home. For I have promised I go to prepare a place for you. And I will return so that where I am you may also be with me. Therefore, my child, be watchful, yet remain in peace. Be ready, yet do not be afraid. Live each day like a lamp burning bright, so that when night falls, its light will still be enough to lead others to me. The final day will not be the darkness of an ending, but the dawn of a new beginning, where all that was old passes away and everything is renewed in my eternal glory. My beloved child, that day will surely come, the day when all human glory will bow low before the radiance of my splendor. The proud will be humbled, for there will be no throne higher than that of the Creator. Those who once relied on power, wealth, and fame will tremble when they see that everything they clung to was nothing more than dust carried by the wind. But the humble in heart, those who chose to live quietly yet faithfully, those souls who wept in secret and still held on to faith through the night, they will be called by name one by one. I myself will wipe away their tears with my own hand and say, "My child, you have kept the faith. Now lift your face and behold me face to face. And you, my beloved one, you too will be there. You will no longer hide behind the fears that once bound you. Every curtain will be drawn back. Every veil will fall away. You will stand before my throne where justice and mercy meet, as one where no shadow can remain, where everything true will be revealed. You will see yourself more clearly than ever before, not through the eyes of others, nor distorted by judgment or expectation, but under the pure light of my gaze, a light that does not shame you, but sets you free. My child, in that moment I will look into your soul deeper than anyone has ever seen you, deeper even than you have dared to look within yourself. Every hidden thing, every forgotten corner, every secret wrapped in fear, I have known it all. Not only your outward actions, but your intentions and silent motives. I have seen the things you did out of love that no one noticed, and the things you did out of fear that you never had the chance to make right. I do not judge with a cold stare, but with the eyes of one who understands every weakness and still loves without changing. You often think of judgment as harshness, as punishment, as condemnation. But my judgment is not meant to destroy it, is meant to reveal truth, to set all things in their rightful place, where justice and mercy walk hand in hand. My judgment is a refining fire, not to burn you, but to consume what was never meant to remain. When my light shines, deceit, fear, and pretense will vanish, and only what is pure and true within you will endure. Then you will understand that judgment is not an ending, but the moment you finally see yourself through the eyes of love. My child, the world praises what glitters on the surface. But I do not count the number of your victories. I count the number of times you stood back up after falling. I do not measure by success, but by the heart. There are many who will be celebrated on earth, yet on that day they will bow their heads, for everything they did was to be seen by others. In contrast, those who quietly did good unseen, whose lives were lived to please me, they will be lifted high. For in my kingdom worth is not measured by applause, but by faithfulness in the smallest things. My dear one, I know your heart still trembles at the thought of that day. You fear being exposed, you fear shame, you fear that you may not be good enough to stand before me. But I tell you, do not be afraid. If you have placed your trust in me, then the day of judgment will not be a day of terror, but a day of encounter. It will be the day I complete the work I began in you. On that day, your sins will no longer stand as a sentence, but as scars that have been healed, a testimony of grace. You will not be judged as a criminal, but welcomed as a child returning home. My child, think of this on that day. My justice will not stand alone, but will walk hand in hand with my mercy. If justice were all that existed, no one could stand before me. Yet because I am love itself, mercy will always open its arms wide. I will not search for reasons to condemn, but for traces of faith to redeem. I will not forget the tears you shed in repentance, nor overlook the prayers you whispered in weakness. Every sincere act of contrition is a door through which my grace enters. My beloved, I will not measure you by the standards of others, for every soul has its own journey. I will not ask how far you have gone, but whether you have walked with me. I will not ask how much you have accomplished, but how much you have loved. For in my kingdom, love is the only measure. All deeds without love are but clanging cymbals, yet the smallest act done in love shines brighter than 1,000 words. My child, live today in the light of that day. Do not wait until you stand before the throne to seek purity. Let me cleanse you now in every thought, in every small act. Let your heart be softened, before time closes its gates. For on that day there will be no chance to amend, only the unveiling of all you have chosen. Choose me today so that when that day comes you may stand firm in peace and not in regret. My dear one, I long to see you approach my throne, not in fear but in the joy of a child coming home. When you arrive, I will call you by name and you will recognize my voice. The voice that once whispered in the wind, comforted you in tears, and guided you through long nights. I will not ask, "What have you done for me?" but will say, "My child, I know you. You belong to me." Then your soul will melt into a peace beyond all words. My beloved child, this world teaches you to fear judgment, but I teach you to love the truth, for only truth can set you free. The day of my judgment is not a day to crush you beneath a verdict, but a day to restore justice to its rightful place. On that day, every distortion will be made straight, every cry of the innocent will be heard, every injustice will be balanced. Those who were trampled will be lifted up, the forgotten will be called by name, and the faithful will be crowned with glory. My beloved, let not your heart be heavy with fear. Let hope guide you toward eternity. Live as one who knows they will meet me, not to boast of works, but to offer a heart made whole. Remember, everything you do today is recorded by my love, not to accuse, but to reward those who remain faithful to the end. And when you stand before me, I will look at you, not with eyes of judgment, but with the gaze of the one who has loved you since before the foundation of the world. Then justice will no longer be a sword that frightens you, but the arm that welcomes you into rest. Mercy will no longer be a distant promise, but the embrace that gathers you close. You will understand that every tear, every wound, every trial carried meaning, and when I look at you, I will smile, for I will see my own image reflected in your soul, pure, radiant, and complete, just as it was in the beginning. My beloved child, listen to this with all your heart, for it is a sacred truth that every soul must know. I take no pleasure in judgment. I did not create mankind to destroy them, nor did I form the world so that it might be swallowed by darkness. My heart does not rejoice at punishment, for my very nature is love. Love finds no joy in ruin, but in redemption. I do not desire to see the sinner perish. I long to see them return, just as a father yearns for the prodigal child to walk through the door of home after years of wandering. But my child, I am also the righteous one. My love does not tolerate sin. My mercy does not mean that holiness can be taken lightly. For if I were to ignore evil, if I allowed injustice to continue unchallenged, then I would cease to be the Holy One whom you worship. Therefore my justice must speak. I will not let the blood of the innocent be shed in vain. I will not let the cries of the oppressed fall into silence. The day will come when every wrong must be revealed, every act of evil must face judgment, and every lie will be consumed in the radiant light of truth. Know this, my child, my justice is not the fire of vengeance, but the fire of purification. It does not come to destroy those who belong to me, but to burn away the remnants of sin within them, so that their souls may shine as pure gold refined by flame. I will weigh every deed from the greatest to the smallest. No wrongdoing can hide beneath the shadow, and no deceit can escape my light. My holiness cannot be violated, for it is the foundation of all things, the breath of life itself, the very force before which heaven trembles in awe. Many believe that my justice and my mercy stand opposed, but in truth they meet in perfect harmony. Justice is the voice of truth, and mercy is the heart of love, and only at the cross do the two embrace completely. There my Son, the spotless Lamb, took upon himself the sin of all humanity. He bore the sentence that should have been yours, so that you might be free. He carried the judgment so that you might receive life. He was forsaken so that you might be accepted. When his blood was poured out, my justice was satisfied, and my mercy was revealed. Therefore, my beloved, If you have received the one I have sent, if you believe in his name, then the day of judgment will not be a day of terror for you, but a day of glory. When others bow in fear, you will lift your face in joy. When the books are opened and every soul is brought to light, you will see the Lamb step forward and say, "Father, this one belongs to me." In that moment, his righteousness will cover you like a pure white robe, erasing every stain of your past. No one will be able to accuse you, for your sins have already been carried upon his shoulders. Imagine that moment, my child, when you stand before the throne of glory, surrounded by countless angels bowing in worship, where light blazes without shadow. You will not fall in terror, for between you and me stands the Lamb, the one who loved you to the very end. He will place his hand upon your shoulder and whisper, "Do not fear, for I have already paid the price for you." Then your name will resound in glory, not tied to sin, but wrapped in his name, the name above all names, the name before which every knee will bow and every tongue confess that he is Lord. My beloved child, do you understand this mystery? When I look at you, I do not see the past of your sin. I see the image of my Son within you. When I hear your prayers, I listen through the heart that has been reconciled by his blood. When I call you righteous, it is not because you have never erred, but because the Lamb has fulfilled what you never could. You are clothed in his robe, pure and spotless, not woven by your own hands, but purchased at the price of his blood. Therefore, my child, cease living in guilt and fear. Your sin no longer holds power when you are in Christ. The judgment meant for you has been placed upon him, and his life has been imparted into you. Do not let the enemy deceive you into believing that you remain condemned. Stand firm in this truth: you have been justified. When I look upon you, I do not see a sinner, but one redeemed. I do not see a stain, but radiance. I do not see failure, but the triumph of grace. My child, do not let grace become an excuse for carelessness. Grace is not a ticket to escape punishment, but an invitation to holiness. You were not saved to remain in darkness, but to become a light amid the world. Let the righteousness of the Lamb become the driving force that leads you to live rightly, not the reason for idleness. Every time you choose goodness, you honor the one who saved you. Every time you forgive, you reflect his mercy. Every time you walk in righteousness, you move within the glory of Christ. I tell you, beloved one, every injustice on this earth will be set right. Not a single drop of innocent blood will be forgotten. Not a single quiet prayer will be ignored. I will cause justice to flow like a mighty river, and truth to pour forth like an endless spring. The wicked may think they have prevailed, but it is only for a moment. The day will come when every deceitful power collapses, every self-made throne crumbles, and only one throne remains, the throne of the Lamb. And then, my child, you will see that everything I have done was for love. My justice does not destroy, it restores. My mercy does not weaken righteousness, it fulfills it. When my light shines forth, darkness finds no place to hide. When my fire touches, every falsehood is consumed, leaving only what is pure. In that moment you will understand, my holiness is not something to fear, but a beauty so radiant that every soul bows in reverence. Beloved, keep your heart in peace. The day of judgment is not to condemn you, but to fulfill the promise I once made: whoever believes will not be condemned, but has everlasting life. When I see the mark of the Lamb upon you, I will claim you as my own. Every sin will be wiped away, every old thing will pass, and you will step into new life, a life without tears, without sorrow, without distance between you and me. Therefore, my child, live with this hope. Do not fear the day of my return. Await it as a child longs for the Father's coming home. Let each day you live be a preparation, not in trembling, but in love and obedience. For one day when I call your name, you will enter the glory of my kingdom, where songs rise in harmony with the angels, where justice and mercy are no longer divided, and where you will be clothed in the name of the Lamb, the name before which all heaven bows and sings. Blessing, honor, power, and glory be to the Lamb forever and ever. My beloved child, open your heart and listen, for I am speaking to you of things that transcend time and space. The day is coming, the day when every soul shall face the fullness of truth. When the trumpet sounds, the heavens will open like a veil drawn back, and my glory will illuminate all creation. Every nation, every people, every tongue will bow down. Those who died in me will rise to eternal life, while those who rejected me will stand before the judgment throne to hear justice proclaimed. There will be no more clamor of the world, no more words of defense or dispute, only the sacred silence of all creation standing before the One who made it all. That day is not a myth nor a story meant to frighten or stir fear. It is as real as the breath you now draw, a moment fixed in my divine plan, a plan that no power can hinder. And I ask you, my beloved child, what are you living for? What are you chasing in this fleeting life? Where are you investing your soul, in what is temporary or in what is eternal? People of the world often spend their entire lives pursuing things they will one day have to leave behind. They pour their strength into wealth, fame, and power. But in the end, all that remains in their hands is a handful of dust. But you, my child, I call you to see beyond what the eyes can perceive. Do not let yourself be lost in the deceptive calls of the world. For everything you see now, houses, possessions, status, human approval, will vanish like smoke carried by the wind. Yet your soul, the very soul into which I have breathed life, will live forever. It will continue, either in my light or in the darkness far from me, for all eternity. My beloved, I do not ask how much you possess. I ask to whom you belong. For when the trumpet sounds, all that belongs to the world will be left behind, and only your soul and the seeds you have sown in this life will remain. Every action, every thought, every choice, no matter how small, will echo into eternity. There are decisions that may seem insignificant today, yet they will determine your place in the everlasting realm. Therefore, my child, do not live as one without purpose. Do not let each day pass merely to satisfy things that will soon fade. Live with the vision of heaven in your heart, knowing that every breath is an opportunity to prepare for the day you will meet me. I ask you again, what holds your heart? What drives your passion, your striving, your everyday? If the answer is not me, then you are walking in the wrong direction. I do not speak this to condemn you, but to awaken you from the slumber of indifference. The world will tell you that happiness is found in having more, climbing higher, being admired. But I tell you, true happiness is knowing your soul is safe in me. For one day, all that the world calls great will be swept away, and only one question will remain. Did you love me? My beloved, I see your weariness from running races that lead nowhere. You try to prove your worth, to grasp what cannot be held. Yet deep within your soul is yearning for something greater. It is yearning for me, even if you have not realized it. No fame can fill the emptiness that only my presence can fill. No victory can compare to the peace of knowing you belong to me. And no reward is greater than hearing me say, "Well done, my faithful one, enter into your Father's joy." So pause, my child, and look within. Are you building for this life while forgetting eternity? Are you pouring your strength into keeping what will pass away while neglecting what will last forever? You cannot take gold or silver with you, but you can take love. You cannot bring fame, but you can bring a faithful heart. You cannot carry status, but you can carry the souls you have touched with compassion and grace. I do not call you to abandon the things of this world, but to live with the awareness that they are temporary. Use your possessions to do good, your time to sow love, and your talents to serve me. For every act done in love becomes a jewel in your crown when you enter my kingdom. The world may forget your deeds, but heaven will not. I record every drop of sweat, every tear, every word spoken in faith. All are preserved as a fragrant offering before my throne. My beloved child, I speak these words not to make you afraid, but to awaken your spirit. For that day is coming, and there is not much time left. Live as one who knows the King is returning. Do not let your heart be lulled to sleep by comfort or busyness. Keep your lamp burning, keep oil in your jar, so that when the cry rings out in the middle of the night, "Behold, the bridegroom is coming," you may go out to meet him with a smile, not with regret. My child, remember this: I do not demand perfection from you. I ask for faithfulness. Walk each day with gratitude, with compassion, with trust in my promises. When you stumble, rise again. When you are weary, come and rest in my arms. When fear surrounds you, remember that I have overcome the world. And when darkness grows thick, believe that dawn is near, for I am the light that never fades. My beloved one, I remind you, everything you see now will pass away. Wealth, fame, power, they are but morning mist that vanishes into the air, but your soul is eternal. It bears my imprint, and it was created to dwell with me forever. Do not trade eternity for a fleeting moment. Do not sell your soul for what cannot save you. For one day when you stand before me, all that you have chosen will be revealed, and those choices will echo through eternity, either in endless joy or in unending sorrow. My child, today is still called today. The door of grace is still open. Return to me while you still can. Do not wait until the door is shut, for then tears and pleas will not change what has been decreed. Let your heart be tender to my voice. Let the light of the Holy Spirit shine into every hidden corner of your soul. Live as one who knows that this life is but a journey, and that your true home is the place I am preparing for you. And when you live this way, without fear, without attachment, but full of trust, you will find my peace covering you. You will no longer fear the day of judgment, for your heart will rejoice in anticipation of seeing me. You will no longer cling to possessions, for you will know that your treasure is with me. You will no longer be swayed by praise or criticism, for you will have already heard my voice whisper deep within. You are mine. I have redeemed you with my blood, and I am waiting for your return. My beloved child, listen carefully, for this is not merely counsel. It is an urgent call from the heart of the one who made you. Live awake, live ready. Do not let the noise of the world make you forget that time is moving faster than you think. Do not lull yourself with the thought, the Lord will not come soon. For truly I tell you, at the very moment you believe all is well, that day will come like lightning flashing from the east to the west, like a breath. No one can predict like a thief in the night. So shall the day of my coming be. My child, when I return, may I find you faithful, not asleep in compromise, not idle in waiting. Let me find you watchful, your lamp burning bright and full of oil, your heart still ablaze with faith. Do not be like the foolish ones who let their lamps go out before the night was over. For the wise do not only wait, they prepare. They know that to wait for me is not to sit still, but to live each day, as if it were the last, the day they will finally see the one they love. My beloved, be like the faithful servant, not careless when the master is away, but diligent in tending the house and keeping the heart upright. Such a one does not dread the master's return, for every act they do reflects their love and reverence. They do not serve out of fear of punishment, but out of love for the one they honor. In the same way I want you to live. Do all things as unto me. Speak words of love as if speaking to me. Serve as if serving the very one who gave you life. My child, let love be the mark upon your life, the mark that makes others recognize that you belong to me, not by banners nor by eloquent sermons, but by the way you live, forgive, and stoop to help others, even when no one is watching. Let purity guard your steps, for a clean heart is the dwelling place I delight in. The world may treat it lightly, but I tell you the truth. Blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see God. Let humility be the garment you wear each day, for the proud will be brought low, but the meek will be lifted up. You do not need to appear great, you only need to be faithful in the small. When you humble yourself, you open the door for grace to flow in. When you learn to kneel, you will stand firm before the storms. When you let me lead, you will never lose your way. My child, do not store up treasures where moth and rust destroy. Do not trade your soul for things that will not last through the night. I know you are striving, working hard to live rightly, but remember, not everything good has eternal worth. Some things glitter like gold but are merely dust. Some opportunities appear grand but lead away from me. Place your heart where it cannot be stolen in heaven, where every drop of your faithful labor is remembered by me, where every act of love becomes a treasure that will never fade. Speak truth even when it leaves you standing alone. Love righteousness even when it cost you something. Walk humbly with me, not with self-satisfied feet, but with a heart that knows every breath you take is grace. Do not let pride or bitterness harden your spirit. Keep it tender, for only those who stay soft before truth can hear my voice. My child, the narrow road you walk may weary, you may cause misunderstanding, may make you feel lonely in a world rushing the other way. But I promise you this, it leads to life. Every patient step you take is an eternal seed. Every time you choose what is right over what is easy, heaven smiles. Each moment you refuse to compromise in order to keep your heart pure, a crown of glory is being woven for you in eternity. Meanwhile, the wide road, the path of ease of crowds of applause may seem alluring, but behind it lies the pit of ruin. It entices with false promises. Enjoy yourself, live your own way. Yet remember, my child, not everything sweet is good and not everything hard is bad. The road I lead you on may be rough, but it opens to the gates of everlasting life where I stand waiting for you. Choose wisely, my child. Not just once, but every day. Each morning when you awaken, you can choose love over resentment, forgiveness over anger, trust over fear. Choose me, even when you do not understand. For every small choice, unnoticed by others, shapes the eternity of your soul. Every moment is precious, for time is not merely the flow of days, it is the measure of eternity. What you do today will echo forever in the unseen realm. My beloved child, live as one who knows that every moment is a gift. Do not waste it on emptiness, on senseless arguments, or on dreams where I am absent. Time is the seed I have placed in your hands. You can sow it into what fades and reap nothing, or sow it into what endures and reap glory. You cannot keep time, but you can offer it to me. And when you do, I will turn the years of your life into a testimony of grace. Keep your heart awake, my child, like a watchman waiting for dawn. Keep your soul ready like a bride awaiting the sound of the trumpet. For one day that trumpet will truly sound, and the gates of heaven will open. Then the faithful will be welcomed into the wedding feast of the Lamb, where there are no more tears, no more partings, no more night. Live for that day, not in fear, but in radiant hope. For that day is not the end, but the beginning, the dawn of eternal life in my embrace. My child, keep your heart alert in a world that slumbers. Keep the flame of faith burning no matter how fiercely the wind blows. Live not to be remembered by the world, but to be known by me as one who remained faithful to the end. And when that day comes, when the heavens open, the trumpet sounds, and the Lamb appears in glory, you will hear my voice say, "Well done, my beloved child. You have stayed awake, you have remained faithful. Enter into the everlasting joy of your Lord." My beloved one, listen deeply within your heart, for these are not mere reminders, but the tender call of the one who has loved you with an unchanging love. You do not know the hour or the minute. You cannot foresee the next breath or tomorrow's dawn. You do not know when you will cross the line between the temporary and the eternal, but I know. I have counted every day of your life. I have etched every moment into the palm of my hand. Not one instant passes without my knowledge, not one breath escapes my notice. And because of that I call you not tomorrow, not when you feel ready, but now. My child, this is the hour of grace. It is the moment when my heart is open wide, when the door of mercy remains unclosed. I am calling you home not to punish you, but to draw you into my embrace. I desire that none should perish. That was never my intention. Yet I am also the God of justice. I cannot overlook sin without atonement. Therefore I sent my only Son, that he might bear the punishment in your place, so that you might live. Grace has been poured out, but, my child, the clock of grace is still ticking, and its hands move steadily forward. Each moment draws closer to the day of my return. Each tick of time whispers that the season of grace will not last forever. I am patient, I am waiting, but even patience has its appointed end. For a day will come when the door of grace will close, and the cry will sound at midnight. Behold, the bridegroom comes. Then those who are ready will enter the wedding feast, while those who hesitated will stand outside weeping and knocking. My child, do not be among the latecomers. Do not let your heart be distracted by the trivial matters of this fleeting life. Do not let your plans, your worries, or your earthly dreams cause you to forget the true purpose of existence, to be united with me. My beloved, I am not calling you to a religion, a ritual, or a system of rules. I am calling you into a relationship. I do not want you merely to know about me. I want you to know me with your heart, your soul, and your very breath. I want your heart to beat in rhythm with mine, so that when I look upon you, I see my own reflection shining back. That is the oneness I long for, not an external perfection, but a surrender born of love. My child, let me cleanse you now. Do not wait until you think you are good enough, for if you could make yourself pure, there would have been no need for the cross. Come to me while you are still stained, weary, and weak, for only I can make you clean. My water does not wash away merely the outward sin, but purifies the hidden corners of your soul, the places you fear to face, the wounds you've buried, the regrets you silently carry. Let me touch those places. Let me make you new. I do not only wish to cleanse you, I wish to refine you. Just as a goldsmith uses fire to remove impurities, I use the fire of my spirit to refine your soul. That fire may bring pain, but it will not destroy, it will purify. Every trial, every loss, every moment of confusion is part of the work I am doing to make you brighter, stronger, and truer. I do not allow suffering to torment you, but to make you wholly mine. My beloved child, let me sanctify you with my truth. This world is full of noise and deception. People say that everything is relative, that truth is whatever one chooses it to be. But truth does not dwell in opinion, it abides in me. I am the way, the truth, and the life. When you let my word sink into your heart, you will find freedom, not reckless freedom, but true freedom, freedom from sin, from fear, from the chains of the past. Let my truth become your foundation, so that when the winds of life blow, you will not be shaken. And my child, let me fill you with my spirit, not merely so you might perform great works, but so you may have the strength to love in a world grown cold. My spirit is the breath of life, the cool water in the desert. He will guide you when you do not know the way. He will comfort you when you are weak. He will remind you of my words when you forget the truth. Let him dwell in you that you may hear my voice not only from without, but from the depths of your own soul. My beloved, I am preparing a bride for my son, a bride pure, without spot or blemish. I am not seeking outward perfection, but inner purity. Just as a bride prepares herself for her wedding day, I want you to prepare for the hour of meeting. Let your soul be clothed in the white garment of righteousness, not woven from your own effort, but from the grace of the Lamb. Let my love be the fragrance upon your robe, the scent that fills heaven itself, declaring that you belong to me. My beloved child, do not delay. Do not say tomorrow, for tomorrow does not belong to you. Come to me today while your heart is still tender, while the light of grace still shines upon you. Let me rewrite the story of your life beginning from this very moment. I do not look at you through the lens of your past, but through the eyes of your potential, the very potential I placed within you from the beginning. You are not defined by your failures, but by the love I have for you. My child, let everything within you, your words, your actions, your thoughts, beat in harmony with my heart. Let your eyes look upon the world with compassion. Let your hands become instruments of healing, and let your soul reflect my light amid this night. For one day, when the final trumpet sounds and the heavens open, I long to see you standing there, radiant, pure, filled with oil and unashamed. I want you to enter the wedding feast with joy, not with fear. I want you to hear my voice declaring, "Well done, my child. You have kept your lamp burning bright. You have remained faithful to the end. Enter into the joy of your Lord. My beloved one, do not wait for another sign. The sign has already been given. It is my word. It is my voice, touching your heart right now. Do not let it pass by like the wind. Respond now with a silent prayer, with tears of repentance, with a firm decision to return. I am not far from you. I am here, and at the sound of your cry I will come. Let me wash you, refine you, sanctify you, and fill you once more. My beloved child, listen deeply to my words, for what I speak today is the promise of eternity, the breath of both love and justice. I will reward those who have been faithful in small things. Do not despise the quiet works you do, the unseen acts of kindness, the hidden prayers, the tears shed in solitude. Every small deed done in faithfulness is remembered by me. Every seed you have sown in tears, I will cause to bloom in glory. In this world, people celebrate great deeds, but in my kingdom, it is the small acts done with love that carry eternal worth. My child, I see those who do not grow weary in doing good, even when no one repays them. I see the hearts that continue to worship in hardship, that still sing praise in the dark. And I tell you the truth, no good deed will be forgotten, no patience will be wasted. When that day comes, I will reveal what was hidden in the shadows. I will uncover what was concealed, and my justice will shine like the dawn. What was misunderstood will be made clear. Those who were wronged will be restored. For I am the one who sees what human eyes cannot, and I measure by the heart, not by the applause of men, and on that day my angels will go with me. They will no longer be hidden messengers, but will appear in radiant glory, carrying the sound of triumph's trumpet. They will gather my chosen ones from the four corners of the earth, from the fields, from the seas, from the depths of the earth. Not one who belongs to me will be forgotten. Every soul will be called by name. Each will be lifted by angelic hands. Heaven and earth will witness that divine reunion when my people, those who remained faithful in silence, will shine with glory like the sun in my new creation. My beloved one, I will make all things new. Every old and broken thing, every trace of death and tear will be erased. I will wipe away every tear from your eyes, the very tears you thought no one saw. I have counted them, each one, and I will turn them into jewels on your eternal crown. Then death shall be no more. Mourning, crying, and pain shall cease, for the old things will have passed away. No more war, no more deceit, no more betrayal, no more loneliness. Everything broken will be restored. Everything lost will be found. Every wound will be healed by my own hand. And I will proclaim, behold, I am making all things new. Every creature will breathe a sigh of relief. The earth will sing, the seas will rejoice, and the stars will shine like a choir of the cosmos. The sun will no longer need to rise, for I myself will be the light of every place. No darkness will remain, for my presence will fill all things. My child, this is no metaphor. It is the true promise of the one who never lies. But before that day comes, I say to you, prepare yourself not with fear but with love. Examine your heart. Allow me to shine my light into the hidden corners you have kept concealed for too long. Do not fear my light, for it does not come to condemn, but to heal. Confess your sins, not because I do not know them, for I already do, but because confession sets you free from their weight. When you are honest with me, I will embrace you. When you humble yourself in repentance, I will lift you up with hands full of mercy. Hold fast to me. The world will tremble, values will be overturned, and the hearts of men will change, but I do not change. Remain in me, as a branch abides in the vine, for apart from me, you can bear no fruit. The more tightly you cling to me, the steadier you will stand amid the storm. Do not let your heart grow cold amidst the sweet temptations of the world. Many begin with fire, but end in ashes, because they allow comfort and compromise to extinguish the flame within. My child, guard your first love. Remember the day you first felt my presence, the day you trembled with joy when your tears fell, not from fear, but from the touch of grace. Return to that place. Rekindle that fire. Let it not remain a distant memory, but let it burn again in the present. For my love never grows old, only human hearts fade. And if you return, I will ignite that flame once more, stronger, deeper, more enduring, a fire no longer sustained by emotion but fed by faith and surrender. Come back, my child, to the secret place where you once walked closely with me, not only in brief prayers but in every moment of your life. Hear my voice in the silence, feel me, in the gentle breeze find me, in the smallest details of your days. Draw near, that I may whisper to you things I share only with those who truly love me. In that secret place, you will rediscover peace, clarity, and the strength to stand firm amid a chaotic world. And remember this, my child, do not serve me to earn salvation. Salvation is not a reward for effort, but a gift of grace. You do not have to strive to be loved, for I loved you before you ever did anything. I do not love you because you are faithful. It is because I love you that you can be faithful. Serve me not out of duty, but out of the joy of walking beside me. Love me not out of fear, but out of gratitude. For when love is your motive, everything you do carries the fragrance of heaven. My beloved child, I know you are weary. I know you have felt disappointment, and at times have doubted. But do not let go. For the reward for faithfulness does not come from this world, but from my hand. That day will come when I will look into your eyes and say, well done, my child. You have been faithful in little things. Now enter into the joy of your Lord. And then every tear will be wiped away, every wound healed, and you will see that not a single moment of faithfulness was ever in vain. Be steadfast, my child. Prepare yourself as a bride prepares for her bridegroom, not with anxiety but with loving anticipation, for I am coming. And when I come, I will make all things new, and you will be with me. No more separation, no more tears, no more night, only the eternal light of my love surrounding you forever without end. My beloved one, if you stumble, rise again. Do not let the shame of the past or the accusations of the enemy cause you to stop. Each time you fall, I am still there, not to condemn, but to lift you up. My hand is never withdrawn, my eyes have never turned away. I see every effort you make, I know every silent battle no one else understands. Even when you collapse in weakness, I still call your name amidst the ashes of discouragement, because I do not see you as the world sees you. I see you through the eyes of grace, through the price of the Lamb's blood shed for you. If you doubt, call upon me. Do not run from me, but run to me. I am not offended by your questions, for I know they come from a heart that seeks. When you doubt, I do not withdraw. I draw nearer. I do not scold you for weak faith. Instead, I invite you to step deeper into true fellowship, where faith is refined in the darkness. My child, faith is not born in the warmth of daylight. but in the cold of night when all you have left is my promise. So call upon me, even in your doubt, and you will find that I am still there beside you, whispering in the stillness. Do not fear, for I am still holding your hand. If you lose your way, return. Do not think that you have gone so far that I cannot find you. There is no road too dark, no pit too deep, no mistake greater than my love. I have gone farther than you could ever imagine just to bring you back. Like the father who ran to embrace his prodigal son while he was still far away, I too will run to hold you in my arms. No shame can make me stop, for my love is not hindered by your sin. It is because of your sin that I came. My arms are always open. They have never closed, since the day I stretched them wide upon the cross to tell all humanity, this love is forever. My heart still beats for you, not only in your good days, but in the moments when you are weak, weary, and confused. I have engraved your name on the palms of my hands. It cannot be erased, forgotten, or replaced. Whenever you feel invisible, remember, you are etched into my very being, the place where the nails once pierced, standing as an eternal witness to unchanging love. I have called you by name. You are not a number, not a faint soul lost among the crowd. You are the one I know, intimately the one I have chosen, the one I love, with a distinct and personal love. Before your first cry, I whispered your name into eternity. Every day of your life was written in my book before one of them came to be. Nothing in your life is random. No tear has fallen that I have not counted. No wound exists that I do not long to touch and heal. I have watched you through every season of your life. When you rejoiced, I smiled with you. When you wept, I wept as well. I was there in the moments you thought you were utterly alone. When you lay awake in the stillness of night, I kept watch over your rest. When you walked through thorny paths, I followed behind, gathering the broken pieces you left behind. And even when you forgot me, I never stopped looking toward you. My love does not depend on whether you remember me. It endures because I am love itself, and that love cannot cease to flow. My child, I will keep watching over you until the day you behold me face to face. That day is not far off, the day when every pain will be erased, every tear wiped away, and every unanswered question will find its meaning. On that day you will see me not dimly as through a mirror, but clearly in the fullness of my glory. You will realize that everything you endured, waited for, and believed in was leading to that moment when my light envelops you, and you finally understand that I was never far away. Therefore, do not fear death. For if you belong to me, death is no longer an enemy, but a doorway into a new world. It is not an end, but the beginning of all that you were created to enter. Do not see death as a period, but as a passage from the temporary to the eternal, from limitation to freedom, from faith to sight. When you close your eyes in this world, you will open them in my glory. When your final breath leaves your body, your first breath in heaven will begin. In that moment you will see me, not in part, but in fullness. No longer veiled by faith, no longer confined by mortal flesh. You will behold me in light that never fades, in radiance beyond description. Every image, every dream, every word you ever spoke about me will seem small before my reality. You will know me as I have always known you. Every question, every wound, every fear will dissolve in an instant as you touch my glory. My beloved child, live with the vision of eternity. Do not let the fleeting shadows of this world make you forget your true home. Each passing day brings you closer to the place prepared for you, the place where there are no tears, no night, where every unfinished song will find its harmony in the symphony of glory. I did not create you to live in fear, but in hope, not to merely endure, but to be transformed, not to be forgotten, but to be held forever in my embrace. So rise and do not be afraid. However many times you have fallen, my grace is still greater. However far you may have wandered, my voice still calls to you within. Even when you doubt, I wait patiently for your return. I have never abandoned you, and I will not begin now. My beloved child, one day you will dwell in a place where sin has no voice, where darkness has no refuge, where all impurity fades into the distant memory carried away by the ocean of my grace. There shame will hold no power, no longer pressing upon your shoulders like invisible chains. You will no longer remember the failures, wounds, or mistakes that once bowed your head, for I will wipe away every trace of them with my boundless love. In that kingdom, joy will not fade, peace will not end, and love will never be distant again. In that place there will be no more tears, no more sorrow, and no more pain. All the old things of this world, separation, deceit, fear, and injustice, will vanish in the radiance of my light. You will walk upon streets of gold surrounded by songs of praise that echo throughout the heavens. Angels will sing and all creation will bow before my glorious throne. There you will be known not for what you have done, but for the one to whom you belong. You will understand that your existence was never a coincidence, that I created you to live in the fullness of eternal love. But before you reach that place, my child, I call you to live in readiness. Do not let the promise of future glory make you forget the responsibility of the present. Every day you live is an opportunity to reflect the light of my kingdom on earth. When the world sinks into indifference, stay awake. When others chase after fame, pursue righteousness. When many grow cold in their hearts, keep the fire of faith burning within you. Lift your eyes to the heavens, not to escape the world, but to remember that your true home is not here. Do not let your vision be clouded by temporary glitter. Let your sight rise above the fog of worry and despair. When you lift your eyes, you will see that I am still on the throne, still governing the universe with my sovereign hand. Every star that sparkles in the night sky sings a silent hymn reminding you that I am there, steadfast, unchanging, mighty, and full of love. My child, walk in holiness. Holiness is not the perfection you create for yourself, but the daily choice to be set apart for me, to live for the one who called you out of darkness. Keep your spirit free from bitterness, your eyes from lust, and your words from deceit. As you walk in purity, you will feel my presence nearer than ever before. Holiness is not a burden, but a garment of glory, the very robe you will wear on the day you meet me. Proclaim my gospel, my child. The world is thirsty, though it does not know for what. People chase noise, seek satisfaction in money, power, and pleasure, yet nothing quenches the longing of their souls. In your hands you carry the living water the world needs. Speak of me even in whispers. Let your life become a sermon, every action a testimony of my love. When you help the weak, when you forgive those who hurt you, when you love the undeserving, at that very moment you are preaching the good news with every breath you take. Feed my sheep. I am entrusting you with a part of my work, the work of shepherding, comforting, guiding, and caring. Do not think you must do something grand. Be faithful in small things, love those beside you, lift up the fallen, and pray for the lost. Every soul you touch with kindness extends the reach of my kingdom on earth. Do not underestimate small acts of love, for in my kingdom, love is always the greatest miracle. Be my hands and feet, my child. When you walk toward those in pain, I walk with you. When you stretch out your hand to help, it is my hand touching them. When you embrace the brokenhearted, it is my arms that hold them close. I desire the world to see me through your life. Do not wait until you feel strong, for I use the weak to shake the mighty. Do not wait until you feel enough, for I am the one who completes what you lack. Live as one who belongs to another world. You are not of this place, though you sojourn in it for a time. Let your heart be anchored in the realm where righteousness reigns, where glory never fades, and where love is never false. When others despair, be the one who plants hope. When fear grips the world, walk in peace. When people lose faith, let your life be the proof that God still moves, still loves, and still draws near. My child, I am coming soon. These words are not distant, they are the heartbeat of eternity itself. When I come, I will come swiftly. There will be no time for last-minute preparation. Therefore, live as though today were the day you will meet me. Do not fear that day, for to those who love me, my return will not be a storm, but a sunrise. Blessed are those who remain watchful, who keep their hearts pure amid a world tainted with corruption. Blessed are those who do not let the flame of faith die out even when the winds of life blow fiercely. Blessed are those who walk in humility and righteousness, not for the praise of men, but because they know my eyes are upon them. Their names are written in the book of life, and no one can erase them. No power of hell can snatch them from my hand. They are the precious jewels in my crown, the radiant stars in the eternal firmament, and when that day comes, they will stand before me, not in fear but in awe. They will not tremble under judgment, but weep for the glory that overwhelms them. They will not bow their heads in shame, but lift them high in the joy of the redeemed. They will not come as strangers, but as children returning home to the place that has always belonged to them since the dawn of creation. Then every distance will vanish, every separation will be restored, and my love will cover them forever. Therefore, my child, live watchfully. Keep the lamp of faith burning bright. Guard your heart in purity. Let your lips speak truth, and allow your heart to keep loving without ceasing. Walk each day in my presence until the trumpet sounds and the gates of heaven open. Then you will hear my voice say the words your soul has longed to hear all your life. My child, welcome home. You have fought the good fight. You have kept the faith. Now enter into the everlasting joy of your Lord. Thank you for listening to today's message. Remember to subscribe and turn on the notification bell so we may continue to receive the living words together, build unshakable faith, and walk in the boundless love of God. Amen.